once one of the guitarists in the female-fronted band Akuma Gaijin from Bay City, Texas. His influences are Iron Maiden, Old School Metallica, Saxon, and Jagdpanzer. Rex has been playing bass in garage bands for over 20 years. Then he moved to the guitar in a two-guitar duo in Akuma Gaijin. Akuma Gaijin formed about a year and a half ago and is attempting to make the transition to a studio band. At one's first look and listen to an Akuma Gaijin tune, most people would point out the gritty-voiced, bass-wielding, cute, female frontwoman, Bobby Von Pole. But taking a closer look and listen, and you'll hear an underlying heaviness linked directly to Rex's influence and style. It's a rare case of the man behind the woman that makes up Akuma Gaijin's old-school heavy guitar riffs with a new original vocal style which Bobby brings. We caught up with Rex to ask him about his guitars, rig, and Akuma Gaijin.
Welcome to Here and Now, a weekly interview series covering current, gigging, and recording musicians who use B.C.Rich guitars, as well as luthiers and industry insiders. This week's featured artist is Rex Von Pole from Akuma Gaijin. When did you start playing guitar and why do you play B.C.Rich?
I think it all started back when we were about 14 years old. A bunch of us listening to Metallica and stuff like that in the backyard. I remember us running around with bunk bed slats with Gibson and B.C.Rich and stuff like that written on the side of them. We were rocking out. But, I played a couple of junk old guitars and stuff, things that we picked up. I actually started on bass. And I think it was about 16 when I first came across B.C.Rich. It was this little fly-by-night music store out on the edge of town. It didn't last longer than a year, but they had this mid-80s NJ series neck through Mockingbird. And man, I begged Mama for that. I begged Mama for that thing. Finally got conned into it. And she was my number one for many, many years. She was flat out the best bass I've ever owned. I've never owned an instrument that I loved more than that one. It started a lifelong love affair. I've been a diehard B.C.Rich fan ever since. Unfortunately, she was destroyed by some people we won't mention. Couldn't show all the lip clip. And left out where the neck twisted. Ironically enough, I know most of the junkies can't stand Go Ahead Roman. Well, when that bass died in the neck, she literally twisted like this. I got online and somehow Roman convinced me to send it in to him, and he was going to trade me for a platinum series. Irony enough, we both thought we screwed each other. Because I don't think there was any stable in this world. But I played on that platinum for a couple of years after that before I moved on.
Tell us about your guitar.
Well, this is my first USA. Picked her up off Craigslist, paid about $450 for her. Picked her up a fella who'd given up guitar because he found God. And me and God, we know each other quite well, and he don't care if I play guitar. So I went and picked it up off of him. I use the dirty balls. I like the super slinkies. I use them in the nines, which tuned to E. She's got the Willie Brew Edge tremolo on it. I'm a Kalo man myself, and my wife will eventually probably switch this out for me. I got the Shadow pickup, and I really like the Shadow. They don't make them anymore, but I picked them up on the car, and it played a little different song. It's normal to have due to the super distortion. It's just my sound. But she gives me a lot of versatility and gives me a lot of ability to do a lot of different things, a lot of different sounds that I want. But she's a beat up old girl, but I ain't going to judge her for that because I'm beat up myself, and I think we're good together. Right now I play through a Fender Mustang 4 pedal. We're all geared through a head and mixing board, so that's where I get my distinctive sound.
Tell us about when you were a B.C.Rich salesman.
It's about mid-90s, I think it was. Marty had just got the company back from Class X, and I remember that coming across the magazines and stuff, and I was really excited about that. So I contacted B.C.Rich, and he was like, you know, hey, I want to help any way we can, you know, what we can do as a company. So B.C.Rich was really sweet, and they helped facilitate my delusions of grandeur, and they sent me a catalog and a big stack of order forms and a bunch of stickers and stuff. I immediately stuck them on my old beat-up Volkswagen Bug and started driving around trying to con all my friends into buying and playing B.C.Rich. It was a lot of fun. I didn't do a whole lot of good, but I tried. I thought it was fun shit. But I sold about 3 or 4 of them to my buddies. You know, we all got handmaids there back in the day, and you know, doing my part to help the company out.
So did you just set out and say, hey, we're going to make Japanese-inspired hair metal?
Ironically enough, I stepped back into the jam room with the original anticipation of playing some old school thrash. You know, I was looking at the old thrash style sounds and stuff like that when I went back there, but it didn't come out that way. You know, most of you out there who played in bands, you know, you step in there with your own style, and as soon as you mix other people into the mix, it changes that dramatically. It's one of the things that makes bands beautiful is the fact, you know, it's not one-dimensional sound. It's so many different influences put in there. And, you know, where I came in from a thrash metal, death metal background. Steve came in from, you know, a sort of 80s background, you know. Bobby listened to Billy Joel and stuff like that. So, I mean, she brought those influences to the band. We all 3 started writing songs together. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks into the songwriting process when we first got together. I looked up and suddenly made the exclamation, oh my God, I'm freaking playing hair metal. What the hell? After I got over the shock and realization of it, I stepped back and realized, God, I love this. It's a beautiful sound. Nothing else I've played as I've played music was ever as real. It never was as heartfelt. And honestly, at the end of the day, Akuma Gaijin brings not what I can bring, not what Aurelio can bring, and not what Bobby can bring, but it is a good amalgamation of also beautiful.
How did Akuma Gaijin come to be?
Well, originally, I had pretty much given up, you know. I had been playing in garage bands for 20, 25 years, and, you know, I'd given up on the hopes of actually doing anything really special with it. One day, you know, I met up with this guy in town, and he came over and started playing with me, and we had this one drummer at the time, and poor kid couldn't play his way out of a wet paper bag, so we never went anywhere with it. But we really liked some of the stuff that me and him were coming up with. I really want to do something about this. Let's try it one more time. You know, I know we're all doing it one more time. We're all out there. We tried to round up anybody we knew. And we went through so many different people, and everybody just wanted to sit around and talk about it, and drink beer, and talk about one day when they're going to be big and famous. But nobody actually wanted to talk about it. I got sick of it. I just got tired of it. And I finally turned over to Speed and said, man, let's just take some kids who don't have any idea what they're doing and train them how to do it. And if we do that, that's what we do. Sure enough, you know, I got my roommate Dustin and my wife Bobby, and I stuck the bass in her hand because I had one extra. And, you know, I stuck him on the drums, and you know, it was a bit of fact that they lived with me. I could shake my. So you know, they last thing they remember, they were drinking in a bar, and next thing you know, they woke up in the Imperial Lithuanian Navy and were playing in Akuma Gaijin.
Sorry. What can we expect from Akuma Gaijin in the future?
Well, one of my big hopes for Akuma Gaijin, one of the biggest problems we've got right now is, you know, realistically, we all get together. I think it makes it beautiful. It's really great stuff. I really enjoy playing it. Our biggest problem is right now is recording from home. We're amateurs, sitting at home, doing our best to come out with the best recordings that we can. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that much. But the hope is that, you know, other people are going to see this. Other people are going to hear the tunes. They're going to like it, and we get a little more help from the outside. Yeah, decent quality. But, you know, get into a studio somewhere that's not, you know, in the back of my army surplus store, and get some real recording going on.